Hey, what's up everybody? Video 44 coming at you with another video. Alright, so decided to come out to where I used to live today because I figured it would be cooler over here than it is in the valley, and I was right. It's a lot cooler actually. Get a little exercise. But yeah man, I wanted to talk about some basketball stuff. I did a little extra homework on Risacher, and I have a take on him that I think is not really what I'm hearing. First of all, he cannot really put the ball on the ground that well. His handle in the open court is nice. His reactionary handle in the open court is nice. You know, if you coming at him, you put the ball behind his back, juke under his leg, that type of stuff he's good at. But when it comes to the first step off the dribble, he doesn't have creation ability right now. But because he's not just completely devoid of a handle, I think he can develop that a little better than people may think he will be able to in the future. He's never going to be Kobe Bryant, Tracy McGrady, nothing like that. But I do think he can become a lot more competent with the ball in his hands to start his own circumstances than he is today, which is very deficient. And I don't blame anybody who's hesitant on him for that reason, because, you know, that's very important in basketball, to say the least. But I think when it comes to Risacher, I just have an idea that he's like the next level off-ball player. When we think about all the great players in the league, we have this idea about what our wings should be able to do. And I think he's falling victim to that. But if you look at what he actually is, he could be the next best version of what he is, which is an off-ball wing, catch and shoot player, create player, defensive. He has really good defensive instincts as well, moves laterally very well. So, you know, you think he can stay in front of people that may be a little smaller than him. He has nice length and a lot of fire when it comes to that aspect of the basketball. So you expect that he's going to be able to really defend pretty well and play with a lot of heart on that side of the floor. And then he's very explosive when he jumps off the floor. He looks to dunk the ball, especially in the open court. Again, his open court game is fantastic. You can count on this guy to dunk the ball quite a bit and put himself in a strong position to finish plays off of passes from others. He really does need to play with a point guard, preferably a cerebral one who's going to look for him. I'd love to see him in Dallas with Luka the Don. I'd love seeing him playing alongside of Giannis. I'd love seeing him playing alongside LeBron. I'd love for him to play with any of the past first point guards, Lonzo Ball type guys. You know, he's going to do well in those situations as a catch and shoot finisher and as an open court finisher. But he's not creating for himself, as we've already said. But I just think it's one of those situations where if you have a vision for what an off-ball player is, your plays like guys like Reggie Miller, Rip Hamilton, when they have plays run for them where they're off the ball, they're cutting around, running off of screens, running to the corner, catch and shoot type situations. When you talk about those type of players, I think he might be the next level of that. He might be the next best version of that. And if you have a scheme that works next to Jokic, next to Doncic, you know, with you know, if he's in San Antonio and they find a way to get Nikola Topic next to him, these are the type of players that he needs to be playing with, because he's going to find, those guys are going to find him. They do all the dribbling, they do all the creating, and he finishes the plays. And if you get him a good 7 or 8 shots up, he may hit like 5 or 6 of them. He's a very efficient shooter, a lot more efficient than people give him credit for. And so if you ask me, I think Risacher can be a tremendous star-level player so long as you stop asking him to be a creator of his own plays. When you ask him to create for himself, not so much. But if you run all types of very good plays for off-ball scorers, he's going to finish all of them. He's going to finish all of them, and I like his explosiveness off of 2 feet. When he's jumping the hammer at home, he's a lot more explosive than people give him credit for. I see the first overall pick appeal, and the reason why I see it is because I have a vision for that type of player so long as point guards are around him. Now, if they're the first piece and you're waiting to get that point guard piece, probably not the best player to have, because if you need him to be your Tracy McGrady, Kobe Bryant, off the dribble type of creative player, Allen Iverson type stuff, it's not going to work. But if you run plays for him off the ball, he can be one of the best off-ball players we've ever seen, probably. Like, literally. And his catch-and-shoot jumper is much better than his off-the-dribble jumper, in my opinion. And he's just a player that I want to run all types of plays off of screens, all types of curls, all types of back cuts and things like that. I want to use him like that all game long. He seems extremely durable. He's strong, even though he's slender. His explosiveness is there. And I think there's a little bit of a old man, wiry type of strength in this player. So I'm telling you, man, you just got to find a coach that knows how to use this player properly, knows how to use him off ball all day. Run off a screen over there, run to the corner over there, run to the top of the tree over there, off ball screen, curl around that way, cut back this way. He'll lose his defender and catch and shoot and play with the best of them in that regard. So that's my thing. I just think people are looking at this player the wrong way because they have an idea about how they want their wings to play. Everybody has a weakness. So if you're going to point out a certain weakness that you can't live with, then that's going to be something that you can cater your mind to talking yourself out of every player in this league. If I'll be completely honest with you, if you can't live without the ability to shoot free throws, you're going to pass up on Shaq. You know what I mean? If you can't live with a guy who doesn't necessarily look to pass first, you're going to pass up on early Froby. You understand what I'm saying? Froby Bryant. So it's like there always play things that players can't do. There are very few overly complete players in this league. Unfortunately, what this player cannot do is something that players with his archetype are expected to always do in this era. But the things that other guys are not expected to always do very well, he has in his arsenal. He's an excellent defensive player. He's an excellent catch and shoot player. He is very explosive. He does have good reactionary timing. So it's like, if you're going to tell yourself the only wings you want are the ones who can create for themselves, then yeah, you don't have no business having this player. But if you can live with that being the particular thing that he cannot do, oh, you got a coach's dream, dude. Especially one of these coaches that like to scheme all different types of plays that involve a lot of ball movement and player movement. He's a ball movement player movement dream. And so for me, when I try to mock him to Atlanta, I see his fit. For those who say, well, he's not a first overall guy, and the explanation is he can't create for himself, the shot may not be there. He shot 38%. That's almost 40 as an 18-year-old kid. So I definitely see a shooter there. And so for me, it's like, all right, well, I already got 2 point guards if I'm Atlanta. Probably 3 if you were to count Kobe Buffkin. Why would I not want to take this player? Because when you look at some of the other guys that have an opportunity to get, wings specifically, they can't shoot. Or they're not good off-ball players. They need the ball in their hand. For all the times that we complain about guys who need the ball in their hands, and you consider that having playmakers is a great thing, but it's only one basketball, and if everybody needs the ball in their hands, then they're no good. How many times have we said, yo, that player can't play with that player because he's going to need the ball in his hand? It's the issue with Josh Giddey going to Chicago. He can't play without the ball, so now you got the ball coming out of Kobe White's hands, who was fantastic there. Now, it's like, okay, as long as he has the ball in his hands, he can be his best effective self. Well, this is the type of player that needs to be in that situation. Because they got so many guys with the ball in their hands who need the ball in their hands. He's a guy who literally never should have the ball in his hand. And it's best so long as it's not, unless it's time to finish. And so for me, it's like, yo, this is a great player for me, man. Because I am someone who appreciates ball movement, player movement, and cerebral passers. So this is the guy that I want on all of those guys' teams. This is the type of dude that I can have 4 and 5 playmakers in my rotation and still have a star like him. Think of a guy like Porter from Denver. He doesn't never need the ball in his hands unless it's time to finish. You're not asking him to put the ball off the dribble or do anything like that. And so Risacher is in that mold. And for me, he's a far better defender than Porter. So I think that this is going to be a fantastic young player. I liken him to be some type of fantastic off-ball scorer. And as long as you have a coach and a point guard that's looking to make plays for others, this is a player that's going to make them look fantastic. And a player that can make, they can make look fantastic as well. So that's the key. Do you have enough playmakers in your rotation to make this player as comfortable as ultimately you hope he will become? Because if you don't have those playmakers, this is not the player for you. A team like Washington, you don't have playmakers, not the guy for you. But if you, or a team like San Antonio, if you're not going to draft that player, not the player for you. But if you have that type of setup where everybody on your team is either needs the ball in their hands, and you need to find somebody who can play without the ball in their hands or even excels without the ball in their hands, which very few players do, this is your guy. And that's why I think we need to get off of this, oh, he can't play with the ball in his hands, so he's not somebody that we need to take one overall. No, because if he's the best player to ever play that doesn't need the ball in his hands, you would have passed him up because he couldn't play with the ball in his hands. I just think it becomes a situation where you gotta look at what's in front of you, not try to find the next. That's the mentality that ends up hurting these scouts in this league. I need the next this guy, I need the next that guy. But this is the first one of this you've ever seen. Nah, because he can't do that like Homie did. Well, you don't need Homie. Homie's already who he is. You need the next version of what's coming into the league. And when you consider what evolution is really about, sometimes you're going to find these hybrid type of basketball players that just do certain things better than other people did and maybe don't have certain things that some of the regular guys have because it's a different day. He's an off-ball catch-and-shoot type of defensive player with explosiveness. Why would I not value the best, highest level version of that? Because he can't do what Kobe and T-Mac can do? They don't necessarily do what this guy does. Not at the level he does it. So it's like, why would I not value him? So I think that's what's going on with Risacher. People can't wrap their minds around the fact this guy can't create for himself. But when it comes to off-ball skills, he's better than all of the people in this draft 20 times over. So it's like, if you can't value the highest level of that particular skill properly, then yeah, you're going to devalue this basketball player and you're going to be the one that ends up failing when you're chasing the next T-Mac or chasing the next, who are they chasing right now? Rudy Gobert, archetypes that they're more comfortable with. I'm more comfortable with a center that can't shoot because Rudy Gobert just went to the Western Conference Final. Man, that is garbage. Your spacing is terrible. You rather have him over a fantastic player that can play off the ball when you have millions of players that need the ball in their hands all over your roster? Every team needs at least one guy like this. But they're still looking for ball handlers. Make it make sense, man. Make it make sense. You got teams that have 6 and 7 dudes that need the ball in their hands in order to be successful. And then these are the same teams that are saying they wouldn't draft Risacher in the first round or with the first overall pick. It doesn't make any sense, man. You already got too many Chiefs. You already got too many people that do what that is. You need somebody that does what he does, and you just don't know it yet. Now, when they see this guy succeed, and he's the first to do it in the way that he does it, then you're going to start seeing all these people try to chase him around. Oh, when we can find the next Risacher. Because we've seen that now, and now we want that type of player. It's so tired, man. You got to have innovators in these sports. This is the problem. Everybody wants the next as opposed to the first. And what I'm preaching is go for the first, man. I see this hybrid off-ball player that could potentially, if he develops properly, turn into one of the best off-ball players we've seen. The next level of what off-ball basketball really is about. Player movement and ball movement. This guy is going to excel in all of those areas. But people don't want him because he can't dribble. When you already got 8 dribblers. A team like OKC would love to have Risacher, man. Everybody on their team is a ball handler. Everybody on their team needs a ball in their hands. Everybody they pick up has to create for himself. Hey, nah, this dude just needs you to create for him. So all of those people are going to thrive with this player on their team. So for me, it's just understanding where everybody's going wrong, and then also understanding where they're going to change their mind once they see this. You know, they want Klingen because he's the next Walker Kessler. Like, but you didn't draft Walker Kessler very high. Y'all didn't even want Rosker. You guys traded Walker Kessler when you drafted him, along with picks, players, and all different types of other stuff to get Rudy Gobert. And now you want to say that you're taking Donovan Klingen because he's the next Walker Kessler? Y'all didn't even value Walker Kessler. Like, this is the type of stuff, it's like, yo, I told everybody Walker Kessler was going to be who he was. But when it happened, when he was first drafted, I was like, yo, I like this dynamic because he's going to be able to block shots next to Karl Anthony Towns. You don't necessarily need Carl to play in the paint. You can venture out to be a three-point shooter. Don't have to worry about all the rebounding and all the banging. Like I told y'all that before they even drafted this dude. I told them they should go after Walker Kessler. Not only did they draft him, but they traded him away for a lesser version of Walker Kessler. Like I'm telling you, something wrong with these scouts, man. They're always looking for the next. The next. I need the next guy. No, you need the first. This is a new generation of new players coming in, different hybrids that are going to show you what the next actually is. And if you overlook them because you're looking for the next, then guess what you're going to be chasing? The next thing. So that's pretty much what it comes down to, man. We need more innovators out here and less people who are trying to copy and paste and are enamored with what they just saw and now they're trying to find it again. You see it in every walk of art, music, sports, everything. I need what I just saw. No, you need to identify the next great thing that maybe you've never seen before. And then you'll be in the money because everybody will be chasing what you have while you're on top of the game. So that's pretty much what I got to say, man. I think this is a case of that right now. I think people are evaluating these players, looking for the next, when they got the first right in front of them, and they're not identifying it as usual. And so that's what I'm here to tell y'all, man. I'm here to point these things out for you. Risacher is going to be a nice player off the ball, probably one of the best off-ball players you ever seen. You can run off-ball cuts and screens and all different types of stuff for him. He's going to catch and shoot and do all these different things. He just can't dribble for himself. That's literally it. And if you live with all different types of other things that people can't do, then why can't you live with that? One little weakness. You know what I mean? Like, that's what it comes down to, man. It's kind of ridiculous when you really think about it. But that's pretty much my thought, man. Just wanted to give you guys all of that. And I think I'll leave it at that. My name is BDF44. I thank you all for watching. Bye.